history can sometimes be found in the most unlikely of places. Few would recognize this pile of twisted metal and broken boards. Fewer still would know its importance. This nondescript pile of scrap is in reality the Spencer steam tractor, one of the earliest known tractors. This is the amazing story of its reconstruction and the dedicated historians that made it possible.
Myself, along with 4 others, have been working on the Spencer tractor for a little over 2 years. David Spencer was a blacksmith from Pleasant Mountain, and he had attended a fair or an expo at one time. He saw a steam tractor and he decided he'd make one. Gathered parts for several years. Some of the wheels were from cannons in the Civil War, and the front wheels were from wagons, and then made it between 1878 and 79. When I was a child, the tractor was stored behind the Wayne County Historical on Main Street. Then it disappeared, and in 2002 there was a little resurrection, and it was found, brought back to Wayne County, and then it sort of got lost until we got working on it in November of 2017.
My role mostly was, the woodworking and trying to fit things back together, trying to put the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle back together. We started taking things apart, mostly trying to document them as much as we could on it as we were taking things apart. I think probably most of the metal pieces were intact and actually came apart pretty well. Most of the wood was pretty rotted and destroyed, so we had to take everything apart to scratch. We cleaned up the metal, painted it, and then started putting things back together, trying to make sure it was as original as we could get it. It was pretty much of a 3-dimensional jigsaw puzzle.
I was on the Western Wayne School Board, and the tractor arrived in town a long time ago. They were looking for a place to refurbish it, and it had been sitting out in the weather for years and years, and it was in very rough shape. So they took it to the Western Wayne High School, put it in the high school shop, and the boys could work on it, and they did. So they started on it, and they took a lot of parts off it, and they were making drawings and measurements and that kind of thing. And it was just far too much for them to ever see the end of it. And so it was determined that it would need to go out of the school shop. It was just beyond what could be done there. So it went and sat outside again for years. The wheels were already off. And the question was, what to do with the wheels? And I said, well, I have a place in my barn. We can just put them in my barn for a few days or weeks or something. They sat there for 12 years. The project got revived. They came and got the wheels, and we began working on them. The front wheel was in very bad shape. Most of the spokes were just plain rotten, falling out. So down at New Wave Woodworking, where the tractor was at the time, they took one of the spokes, put it in their machine, set the machine, and it ran and spit out 16 spokes, all exactly alike. And so we could put them back in the wheels. The rest of the spokes that were not in that bad shape, but were dry and punky and half rotten, we soaked them with the epoxy, and they're presently in the wheels. You'd never know the difference. They're better than original. Then New Wave turned out on their lathes hubs for the wheels, and we got them all together and painted them up, and they turned out pretty well. There was a lot of work went into restoring the wheels, and now I guess you'd hardly know that there was ever anything wrong with them. It was a challenge, but we had a lot of work on it. It turned out right.
The tractor was moved from its workshop in New Wave Woodworking in White Mills to the railroad depot in Honesdale. Though the project has taken over a decade, interest has never faltered, and it's finally nearing its completion.
I've been with it and with all the fellows here for the last couple of years, and meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays until later on. We only met on one day, do what we have to do at the time. These fellows are just great. I mean, to work, and nobody ever gets, there's no animosity, there's no bitterness, there's no envy or any strife between any of us. It's been a great journey to me. It really is a community project, and Honesdale has a lot of history here. I lived here all my life, so it's been a wonderful trip, and I hope it keeps going.
When the tractor is finished, it will be prominently displayed in Wayne County. It's home for over 130 years.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Collins, president of Davis R. Chant Realtors.
And I'm Abby Pittenger-Claus, vice president of Davis R. Chant Realtors.
Chant has been serving the Lake Wallenpaupack region for over 58 years, and we are proud to say we sell more homes by volume than any other real estate company in Northeast Pennsylvania. We are coming off our strongest year in the Lake region real estate market, selling over $430 million in sales volume.
We work with sellers to put together a thoughtful but aggressive marketing plan tailored to each home individually. Each of our property listings gets a virtual tour and is professionally photographed, giving the prospective buyer the best first impression. The Lake Wallenpaupack area is an attractive place to live because of its low taxes, great school districts, and beautiful scenery. Our team of agents here at Davis R. Chant Realtors has extensive knowledge in the local real estate market. We have experience with everyone from first-time home buyers to experienced investors. Chant uses a variety of print media, billboards, open houses, and national real estate websites to promote properties and reach potential buyers.
Here at Chant, we know that working together and providing channels of communication and feedback is important for the best outcome when selling your home. If you are ready to relocate, upgrade, downsize, or know anyone who's considering the Lake Region area, please stop by one of our Chant offices or call us at 570-226-4518 or visit us online at chantre.com.
Details matter, especially in your home. Do you love the bones or sentimental story behind an old piece of furniture, but can't see how it could possibly fit into your modern home? At Flipped, their mission is to reuse, reimagine, and create something beautiful and functional. Custom furniture design and refinishing, kitchen and bath cabinet painting, and a retail store featuring vintage decor, floral, gifts, hand-poured candles, and gourmet provisions. Flipped Furniture and Home wants to be part of your home because details matter.
It's time to get outside and enjoy the sunshine. Revive and Refresh Health in Milford, PA is bringing the outdoors and the Oxygen Bar together just for you. Call your besties and come relax by the Oxygen Bar under a cool umbrella. Fill your lungs with our 95% pure oxygen with aromatherapy. Sip on some healthy, delicious, and refreshing mocktails full of nootropics and adaptogens for a naturally relaxing and euphoric feeling that's actually good for you, with no ill side effects. So come get your sun and oxygen on with Revive and Refresh Health.
Looking for a memorable day out on beautiful Lake Wallenpaupack? Wallenpaupack Boat Tours and Rentals offers guests 5 fabulous ways to enjoy the lake. 1. Take a breathtaking hour-long cruise with a tour guide detailing the area and history of the region. 2. You be the captain for the day by renting a pontoon boat for a few hours, a half day, or a full day. 3. We provide the captain for up to 12 people to relax, swim, or cruise on our charter boat. 4. Rent one or more of their kayaks for a relaxing afternoon on the lake. Or 5. Have a blast on one of their stand-up paddle boards. Wallenpaupack Boat Tours and Rentals has everything you need for a great day on the water. Reserve your tickets online at wallenpaupackboattour.com or in person at the expanded East Shore Gift Shop, where you can purchase your favorite lake souvenirs. Wallenpaupack Boat Tours and Rentals at 2487 Route 6 in Hawley, across from the lake.
The Coda Jazz and Arts Festival started in swinging as always in Delaware Water Gap this year. A weekend packed full of talent, the Jazz and Arts Festival showcased local and famed musicians and artists in a small town setting. Friday evening kicked off with the art show, bringing together artists of many different backgrounds and disciplines.
Last year was my first year coming here, and when I heard that the theme was music, I said, I have a piece that I think would work in this show. Music has been a very big part of my artwork. I used to draw at concerts, but I didn't draw the people playing the saxophone. I drew the movement, I drew the rhythm. When I saw colors in my mind, I drew the colors. And this is a product, an enlargement of one of those drawings.
In 2017, I was in Kota the first time ever, and I had a painting called Gut Bucket Blues. And I was so amazed that it won Best in Show, and I sold it at the same time. So I'm doing this every year, but I don't expect to win ever again. It was just the highlight of my life.
I'm a former entertainer who got bored with retirement and picked up a camera and started to do what I consider photo art. In back of me you can see here is drummers are so wound up, I call it. I love the music theme. It's perfect for the environment here in Delaware Water Gap. This is a music town, and of course with the Jazz Festival, you know, it fits in perfectly.
Performances Friday night stretched the limits of creativity, with composers, comedians, poets, and dancers.
Performing's fun, unless you're bombing. It's about as much fun as being shackled to your chair waiting for an idea to pop up.
The weekend came in strong with musicians all throughout town entertaining the growing crowds. Out in the sun, there was plenty to eat, beautiful things to see, and activities for the kids. The main stage showcased the very best the festival had to offer. Be sure to catch next year's Jazz and Arts Festival.
Love you for being here. Thank you so much.
The Sterling Business and Technology Park is currently divided into 23 lots ranging in size from 3 to 30 acres. Each lot in the park is KOZ certified for companies that qualify. The Sterling Business and Technology Park is perfectly located just off Exit 17 on Interstate 84 in northeastern Pennsylvania, just under 2 hours from New York City. If you would like to explore locating your business at Sterling Business and Technology Park, visit sterlingbusinesspark.com.
For the largest selection of first-quality remnant carpeting for every room in your home, choose Mike's Walk-In Carpet, the only remnant stocking dealer in Wayne County with high-quality carpet purchased directly from the manufacturer. With over 40 years' experience, you'll get professional service every time. Don't settle for lesser quality carpeting from the big box stores. Choose the best. Remnants or special order from Mike's Walk-In Carpet on Route 590, Hawley.
Find out what all the buzz is about. Voted one of the best small towns in the U.S., Honesdale, Pennsylvania is an historically significant town with a vibrant and charming downtown. Spend the day strolling down Main Street and explore our many shops, restaurants, cafes, art galleries, markets, and more. In the evening, enjoy our many dining options, from farm to table to casual eateries to bars and breweries. Honesdale is also widely renowned for its charm. Steeped in history, Honesdale is known as the birthplace of the American Railroad and is still home to an extensive rail schedule on the Stourbridge Line Rail. And for the adventurous, outdoors recreation flourishes all year long. Hike up Irving Cliff, enjoy the Lackawaxen River that runs through town, or simply spend time at our beautiful parks. There's always something going on in Honesdale. For more information about Honesdale's events, check out visithonesdalepa.com. There's so much to do and see in charming Honesdale, PA.
The tree-lined streets of Milford, Pennsylvania are once again filled with the sound of music. And since 2010, the Milford Music Festival has been one of the summer's biggest highlights, with shopping, dining, and fun for all. And let's not forget the music.
They say he's got to go, 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 Godzilla.
So I'm from big cities, but there's nothing like Milford.
I love it.
Did I get you?
You got it!
All right, good.
Yay. This borough-wide sidewalk event has over 30 businesses participating.
How do you like Milford and the festival today?
I love this. I love it. It was a great time. Weather's beautiful. The people are beautiful. It's a great time.
I was introduced and we both started grooving. Said to get your baby, but I got to keep moving.
From one side of the town to the next, the music flowed freely, and we couldn't wait to see one of our fan favorites, the Scott Weiss Band.
I'll settle it down. Girl, you let me on back.
Many walked, but we ran over to see one of our fan favorites, the Bobby Cow Band. The Milford Music Festival, the sequel, giving music lovers a reason to experience Milford from end to end, and also supporting our local first responders. Join us for this year's Ride for the Lake on Saturday during Wally Lake Fest.
Ride for the Lake started as an idea of one of our board members, Brian Sean, and we sort of looked at different subcultures in the community that we could work with to raise money for our mission. And motorcycle rides are great charity events, and it really coincides well with Wally Lake Fest. There's a lot going on here, so to be able to bring in a whole bunch of motorcycles and have folks here to help us raise money to protect water quality in Lake Wallenpaupack, it's a great event for us. So we continue to grow every year. We started off our first year with less than 30 bikes, and this year I think preliminarily we have somewhere between 125 and 130. So we're really excited about the turnout today. The weather's been great, and we're just hoping everybody enjoys Wally Lake Fest.
After the Ride for the Lake, check out the other Wally Lake Fest events happening at Lake Wallenpaupack High School, including the Outdoor Boat Show and Vendor Fair. Support the Ride for the Lake and help to protect the Lake Wallenpaupack watershed for future generations. Following the Ride for the Lake, check out the on-water event Wallypalooza, taking place between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Saturday. This musical event takes place on Lake Wallenpaupack and can be enjoyed by boat or laying along the dike. You can also rent a stand-up paddleboard, kayak, or pontoon boat from Wallenpaupack Scenic Boat Tours to enjoy the event. For a list of bands performing for this year's Wallypalooza, visit wallylakefest.com. Wallypalooza is a great time to enjoy Lake Wallenpaupack with family and friends while enjoying great music on the water. Other ways to enjoy the lake include sailboat rides at Lighthouse Harbor Marina or take a Wallenpaupack Scenic Boat Tour. After Wallypalooza, enjoy some of the other activities that Wally Lake Fest has to offer over the entire weekend, including Wallenpaupack brewery tours, live music at many venues around the lake, the open market fair at the visitor center, or catch a performance at the Ritz Playhouse in downtown Holly. For a complete list of events happening during Wally Lake Fest, check out wallylakefest.com. To bring awareness to the threat of bee colony collapse and to support industries that rely on robust bee populations, the Narrowsburg Honey Bee Fest was created 8 years ago. The Narrowsburg Honey Bee Fest highlights all the products that honeybees contribute to our lives. In addition to the important task of food crop pollination, bees also produce honey, which can be found in products such as mead, wines, beers, baked goods, ice cream, cough drops, and many other foods and medicinal remedies. Bees are also responsible for pollinating plants that produce fibers for the clothes that we wear, with the most obvious being cotton. The vendors lining the main street of Narrowsburg had many of their products on display for people to taste or purchase. The connection to bees was everywhere along the crowded streets, from honey-based products to cotton and natural fiber-made items. In addition to the vendors, there were supportive community organizations working to protect our environment and educating property owners on what they can do to attract and support bee populations. Did you know that bees account for the pollination of over 30% of our food supply, as well as flowers, fruit trees, and other medicinal plants that we use in our daily lives? This represents over $15 billion worth of crops pollinated by bees. This Sullivan County Festival supports honeybees by encouraging beekeeping and honey production in the Catskill Mountains as sustainable business enterprises that are important to the quality of life in our region. Crowds of festival goers turned out to support bees and to enjoy a beautiful day on the main street of Narrowsburg. Throughout the day, there was live entertainment, guest speakers, educational displays, and even an audio installation about bees at the end of Main Street. The Wallenpaupack Area Marching Band supports the festival every year and entertained the crowd dressed as bees against the backdrop of the scenic Upper Delaware River. The Narrowsburg Honeybee Festival takes place every September in Narrowsburg, New York. For more information, go to beefestival.org. Tune in to Wally Life every Monday at 9 p.m. on Blue Ridge Communications Channel 13 for the latest in life around Lake Wallenpaupack.